I don't think I have to say this, but I swear this story is completely true. So this happened a few years ago. I was in 5th grade, going into 6th grade. I started piano lessons. I absolutely hated piano. The piano player at my church offered me free lessons because my mom helped out a lot. He was a very nice man. I just hated playing piano. My family had brought an old piano from someone my family knew, so I was able to practice for an hour at home every day. One night, near Christmas, when my brother was at a friend's house and my parents were at dinner for my dad's work, I was practicing piano. The only lights that were on the top of the piano so I could see the music and the dim lights from the Christmas tree. The piano was against the wall with my back to the door. To the right was the hallway that leads to the bedrooms, and on my left was the living room where the tree was. There was no sound other than me occasionally hitting a key. I started having this weird feeling of dread when I looked down the hallway. That's when I started hearing something that was creeping me out. It sounded like breathing. I kept trying to convince myself it was just the fan, but I was still unsure. I sat at the piano and started really practicing just in case there really was a person down there waiting for me to walk down the hall. I'd seen a few horror movies, so I knew not to move near a sound. After a few minutes, I told myself out loud that I should get some water. So I stood up and I walked to my kitchen that was on the other side of the wall. I didn't have a phone in the 6th grade, so I would usually just use my parents' or house phone. The second I stood, I heard a small gasp-like sound coming from the hallway. I just pretended not to hear it. In the biggest drawer closet to the floor, my dad kept a few smaller tools and nails and stuff. I remember seeing a large box cutter type tool. I grabbed it, and I grabbed the house phone that was in the kitchen. I accidentally grabbed the phone too hard, causing me to hit the button that let out a beep. The sound is never really that loud, but with it being nighttime and me being home alone, it was almost deafening to me in the panicked state. I then heard a low grunt-like sound coming from the hall, then footsteps. My fight or flight instinct kicked in, mixing with my adrenaline, and I ripped open the sliding back door and ran to the side of my house, basically flying over the fence, dropping the box cutter in the process. I ran as fast as I could down the block because I could hear him trying to get over the fence. I looked back like an idiot and saw the silhouette of what I'm guessing was a 6-foot-tall man chasing me. I started screaming bloody murder while trying to call 911, but I was too far away from my house for the phone to work. That's when I saw one of my neighbors' light come on, and I ran over, started banging on the door. I quickly looked to see where the man was, and he started sprinting the opposite way. My neighbor let me in and called the police and helped calm me down. I had somehow escaped with my life with only a few minor scrapes and cuts on my knees and feet. When the police got to the house, they figured out how the man got in. My brother had accidentally left his window cracked open, and the man was able to cut open the screen and open the window the rest of the way. They also found a rope, duct tape, and multiple knives on the ground of the hallway. My neighbor across the street had a camera facing the road because people had been stealing mail. The police looked through the footage and found one man would watch our house for a few minutes every few hours for a week. He knew I was home alone that night. For the next few weeks, they had cops watching our house until we moved. They never caught the man, but he is the reason now I have severe anxiety and paranoia.